Welcome to bonus content for Blue Planet for Freespace 2 here on Paladin Gaming. We're going through the database, which consists of the pilot's log, dossiers, and intelligence. Pilot's log just consists of, I needed to be part of this. I know I did, but now that I'm here, I'm sure it'll be added to as the missions progress. Dossier, we read this in the in the briefing to the first mission. The dossier on Samuel Bei. New, Philip Carey. I'm pretty sure that's actually added since we flew with him on the first mission. Philip Carey is arguing with the deck chief again. No, I'm not an engineer, I'm just the man who flies the damn thing. He bangs the Aurora's nose with the deck chief's wrench, and I'm telling you, Chief, it's not right. Something's firing input into the flight controls, and if it's not the kick housing and the active transit sensor, why out? You don't fly it. The baffled deck chief can't seem to figure out what to do with Carey. For a slim lieutenant with a throaty voice and a history of bad luck, Carey knows an awful lot about subspace systems. You're impressed. The chief isn't. Sir, it's not your bird, it's Nehru's, sir. Well, I'm here on his behalf, Carey booms. He hits the Aurora with a wrench again. And don't cringe like that, this is combat armor. What do you think a wrench is going to do? Are you mechanic or aren't you? Poor Lieutenant Nehru asks too many questions, so the deck crew can't stand him. The idea that anyone would be here on Nehru's behalf leaves the deck chief baffled. I am, sir, she manages. This is my deck, and I'm going to have to insist that you put that wrench down and have Lieutenant Nehru file a maintenance squawk with instructions to reproduce the behavior. Reproduce? Carey sputters. What do you think this is? A fruit fly? A little show dog? If we let Nehru fly with a bad housing, Chief, we're letting him down. He turns, looks around the deck. He doesn't see you, but he's not looking. He's pleading with everyone around him, everyone who's watching. Is that who we want to be? He's had two bad wing leaders, Carey has. One dishonorably discharged, one re-specialized logistical work. Two commanders who couldn't do the right thing. You can hear it. You really can. It's in his voice. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not a quotation. He's had two bad wing leaders, Carey has. Yeah, I'm sorry. Is that who we are? The kind of people who let each other down? Interesting. Al-Fadil. Name, Esmar Al-Fadil. Date of birth, 21/1/2350. Education, tertiary, rank, captain. Current posting, 222nd Nightwolves, GTD Orestes. Performance evaluation, comment excerpt. Submitted by Admiral Bei, CEO, 14th Battle Group. Captain Al-Fadil's excellent rapport with subordinates makes him a natural choice for commander of the Orestes Air Wing. After identifying the skills of his subordinates, Al-Fadil capably delegates organizational and tactical tasks, enabling his pilots to act flexibly and independently. In any prolonged or intense combat action, I expect that Al-Fadil would be a pillar of unit morale. I was troubled by the delay in Al-Fadil's assignment to my command after I requested him, although I understand that his time with SOC Hestia makes a complete review of his files difficult. Oh boy, so our commander's an SOC spook. I'm sure that's not going to bite us later. Bei Wen Jian. Education tertiary, rank Admiral, current posting GTD Orestes, GTVA 14th Battle Group, 5th Fleet. Okay, so the 14th is a battle group of the 5th Fleet and has 2 destroyers in it. Interesting. Performance evaluation, comment excerpt, submitted by Admiral Armanjani, Commander GTVA 4th Fleet. I cannot deny Bei's superb control of his battle group. He masterfully coordinates his combatants and fighter wings across multiple battle spaces, including strategic action between systems. His willingness to detach forces for distributed action is unusual, and his gift for convoy defense and force protection has been evident as long ago as Vega decks. If I wanted an admiral to run a tight clockwork operation under immense pressure, I would choose Bei. For this reason, I advanced him as my first candidate for command of the Sol Expeditionary Force. However, I must note that Bei's rapport with his command is limited. He is seen as authoritative but stiff and detached, and he relies on his subordinates to create loyalty and esprit. This signals a degree of emotional detachment that I view as undesirable. I understand that others disagree. While he did perform superbly against Admiral Steele in recent exercises, it is my firm belief from observation of the battle reports that Bei lacks violence of action. Although not as conservative or attritive as Admiral Severanti, Bei places force conservation far ahead of other concerns, leading him to passive opportunities to exploit enemy weakness. He is wholly devoted to the integrity and safety of his ships. Whether you view this as an asset or a liability to the SEF mission is beyond my power to discern. Wait a minute. What does that tell us about our mission here? Rear Admiral Carey. Name Thea Carey, education tertiary, rank Rear Admiral, current post in GTD Temeraire, 14th Battle Group, 5th Fleet. Performance Evaluation Command excerpt submitted by Admiral Severanti, Commander GTVA 13th Battle Group. I was informed that my new Rear Admiral was an enfant terrible for the effect warfare school of thought, a young woman of unusual kinetic energy and determination who specialized in the use of capital warships to support air wing operations. I was therefore determined to correct all these flaws and help the Rear Admiral become a useful and well-balanced flag officer. Unfortunately for my ambitions, the Rear Admiral served capably under my command. We disagreed on several points of doctrine, in particular the Rear Admiral's willingness to separate the hood from the majority of its air wing and conduct simultaneous attacks. It is my opinion that our destroyer battle group must at all times withhold some component of its strength. But as I am sure the reader is familiar with my positions, I will proceed to note that Rear Admiral Carey flawlessly executed her maneuvers, displaying both flexibility and care in her use of reconnaissance and skirmishing forces to find and fix enemy formations. When a serious humanitarian crisis erupted in Delta Serpentis, Rear Admiral Carey was able to detach logistical elements from heavy lifts without compromising force readiness. I would be overjoyed to see Rear Admiral Carey advance as one of the peacekeeping admirals that I believe our alliance needs so much, but in the event of war, it is my determination that Rear Admiral Carey be given control of a large air wing where she can best use her proficiency in organizing and conducting strike operations. I am bemused and disgusted by recent inquiries into the Rear Admiral's personal life and habits, and I request the strongest censure of those responsible. An officer of the Alliance is an honorable person, and to question that honor is to question the Alliance itself. Interesting. GTD Orestes, flagship of the 14th Battle Group, the Orestes is one of the brand new Erebus-class destroyers that will lead the next generation Alliance fleet. The Orestes led the task force deployed to Sol after the successful reconstruction of the collapsed jump node in Delta Serpentis. Her commander is Admiral Bei Wen Jian. I probably butchered the pronunciation there. The Temeraire is a Titan-class destroyer, strike carrier, assigned to the 14th Battle Group. Under Rear Admiral Thea Carey, the Temeraire's role is to provide deterrence, maneuver, reconnaissance, and strike capabilities with her enormous air wing. With 3 massive spinal beams and an array of torpedoes and pulse cannons, the Titan class is also well armed for shock jumps and offensive combat. That's too much. We're gonna split this up. So, that has been the pilot's log and dossiers from the beginning of Blue Planet Age of Aquarius here on Paladin Gaming. This is Paladin Gaming signing off.